Well, got that urge to make N20 robots again. So we are gonna upgrade this robot, RC Rock Crawler. These are 100 RPM. We're gonna upgrade to these bad boys that just came in 500 RPMs. So definitely gonna be a speed upgrade. These ones were a little too slow. They just didn't. Lots of torque, but you can't even turn it with your hand. Like these ones are super speedy compared. So we are gonna swap these out right now. Thought about using these Mecanum wheels here, but I think we're gonna save those for these motors. So we're gonna make a whole new robot with that. You know, you get these from like, you know, RC cars and stuff like that, and the best way to mount the motors onto the wheels here is normally the shaft that is in there. We can take this one apart real quick. But normally the shaft that's in there is smaller than the N20 motor shaft. So I just like drill it out with a drill bit, and then basically just fit it nice and tight and snug, and then you've got an anchor for your wheel. So we'll just pop that back on. So we just got to worry about the orientation here. Basically, these have to follow a side, so they have to be reversed. Otherwise, the wheels will spin in the wrong direction. So you got to really be careful here. So we're going to line it up and just match the wiring and use the wires from the old one, which are basically just like one side shares one ESC. Okay, so we got our soldering iron heating up here. And we will start with this side. One wire's already come off from some crazy driving. Some old wires from a light. They're like very rigid, strange insulation. Let's re-tin that really quick. if we look here, there's the positive side, has the negative here. So if we line that up, positive side on this side, you definitely don't want to make a mistake. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of solder on these fresh pads here because they're super fresh. In this case, the red wire is going to the negative. Sorry, I'm not on my normal bench here, so it's a little tricky. Definitely not the best solder joint. My arms are definitely sore from all the shoveling here in Canada. Just throw a little more solder on there. Probably going to redo these, but just for now, just for testing purposes. Okay, so there's one. So we can go ahead and remove that. These are 100 RPMs. Okay, let's do the other one now. That one's come off, we'll have to repair that. No big deal. Okay, so let's check our polarity here. We got the positive on this side. So, red to positive. Nice and easy. Some hot glue there, but we're just gonna power through it. Leave that on now just so we have polarity reference. Let's throw a little bit of tin. These wires are from a light and they're really weird, like the solder doesn't stick to them, but we're committed at this point. So this is basically an RC rover. So this is going to be the body. It's going to be like a 4x4 kind of RC vehicle, but we're going to control it with ESP32, and we're going to have telemetry data. So basically this is going to provide power information and angle and tilt and all that, and feed back that info in real time. This other one on. We'll take it off from here. Just pop that on. I'm going to redo all these joints when I make the chassis, but just going to do this for testing purposes here. While we're at it, we'll fix this other side that came off. Try not to heat up the motor too much or you start burning the plastic a bit, but they're pretty rigid. I'm going to repurpose for these Canon wheels. You make like kind of like a forklift style with those guys. I think those wheels are pretty neat. So we got two sides done, one side done, so let's flip around and get these other guys on. Get it off. This side, red is going to go to negative on this side. I'll keep that in mind. It's a brand new motor here, so we got to tin it up. Basically just want to put a bit of solder on it so everything else will stick to it. Okay, so black is going to positive here, so the motor spins in the right direction. Because this is basically going to drive like a tank. good lead here. Also have to trim it a bit. That side. Definitely want to make something with these. Got these tank treads here too. So I've got 2 of these project boxes. So I think I'm definitely gonna make a little ESP32 tank with that too. These are from an old Romo robot. Don't know what kind of motor is in there, but they're like pretty powerful. So. Tin this last one up real quick. And this side is positive to positive, red to positive. So nice and easy. Basically, you just want to have the reverse on each side so that because the motor is right. So if you're having them like this, you need to reverse the polarity on this one so that it drives forward. Otherwise, they'll both be pulling in different directions. Black lead. No, it's okay. Redo those. That's our last motor here. Here's the old chassis. It's been beat up here, so we probably should work on it a bit. And this is just made from like wood, like this kind of stuff here. Just like hobby wood. You can get it on Amazon or like hardware stores. People were asking in the last videos. Yeah, we are definitely gonna do more RC stuff because I got the bug again. It comes and goes. But we're definitely gonna do some ESP32 hybrid RC control stuff. is our basic frame here. It's not supposed to do that, and it was causing a problem last time. So I think we're gonna glue that better. Probably get away with gluing one side. Just go right through the glue. Yep. I'll just shave off any excess. Now we got to do the same for this side, unfortunately. But this was a huge problem driving around the car before, so. We're definitely gonna fix it. I really want to get a 3D printer. That would really be ideal for these kind of projects. I've been watching, you know, Professor Boots and those kind of things, and it'd be really sweet, but I just feel like it's a lot of time to invest in 3D printing and learning all that game. So for now, we are going to use wood. Just a bit of glue on there to keep it from twisting. Actually got a crack in it from a little driving, I guess, but you can always swap that out with another piece if we need to. Okay, so let's go in there like that, and there's just a little RC bolt that kind of holds them on. And that's kind of what allows the front end to just twist a little bit, just makes it a little more fun to drive. I definitely want to get the Axial SCX24, those 1/24th rock crawlers. Definitely want to grab one at some point. But you know, till then it's fun to make your own. Probably should have got this glue off ahead of time here. I actually got some N20 motor mounts recently, but I kind of want to save them for these guys. So I think I'm just gonna glue these guys up. Just taking the excess glue from gluing the frame together. Tidy here. Okay. So now we got our motors. Let's check, make sure we got no shorts here. Definitely don't want those wires touching. So I think I'm gonna this is just like a project box for like electronics. I got a couple of them lying around, so they're like the perfect size for a little robot chassis. Here we have a battery, a little RC receiver, and yeah, 6-channel. I like this one because it's so tiny. You can just like use it for all these little microbots. But yeah, we can just hook this right in and control it with the controller, like these electronic speed controllers. You just need 2 of them because you will be controlling 2 sides, just like a tank. So one will be for 2 motors and one will be for the other side. And then, or you can hook this right into a ESP32 and then hook these into the ESP32. So you're still using your controller, but you can like actually, you're still using your controller, but you can actually, interface with the ESP32 and do filtering and all kinds of cool stuff. So for now, I'm just gonna like pop this on and test these motors. I think they're gonna be fast. Probably should hold them. Okay. So it looks like they're spinning the right direction, which is good. These motors are way faster. It's going to be a lot more fun to drive like this. 100 RPMs are real slow for a rock crawler. Like if you want a lot of torque, get 100 RPM, but these 500 RPMs are definitely kind of where it's at. So let's just quickly test the other side here. Okay, so I think we're good. This is a 7.4 2S. Yeah. Wiring is all going to stay on top. That. Screwdriver here. You can kind of tighten that how much flex you want on the crawler. You know, you tighten it up real tight here and hold the bolt. It barely moves. It's kind of like free suspension in a way. Okay, I'm gonna grab my other screwdriver for this. That. Let's unplug the soldering iron, because we definitely just burnt a hole in the glue gun cord, which is fine. Just got it at a thrift store for like $2. We are gonna do something like that. Just make sure you're straight. And that is going to be the other side. Let's grab some glue on that. It's kind of hard to stream and build at the same time, but you know, hopefully it'll get easier with time. So we're going to line that up so we kind of just over the edge, the gold part. got some N20 motor mounts, but that was after I built this chassis, so they kind of get in the way of the whole rock crawler idea here. That was not a good one at all, so we're going to redo that here. Now we can properly test without it going crazy. Let me know what you guys are building too, you know. Definitely want to hear what you guys are working on this weekend. Weekends are definitely the best time to relax, be creative, and make everything you've been thinking about during the week. She's gonna be fast. I'm actually gonna redo this one. This one really wasn't positioned perfectly here. That's why I love hot glue. It is great for kind of prototyping and messing around. Okay, so we got just a bit of the gold coming out. For now, all the wiring can go up in the middle. I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom of this box here. So that's kind of what it will be here. This other side on now. A bit of glue left over from the old motor. There. That as straight as possible. not bad. I think it's better than the old one, actually. Side. Oh, baby. Buggy like that. Maybe there's a way I can add suspension too in between the two things here. Sorry if the camera's shaking here, it's not the best desk. Okay, so I think we should just do like a RC version first, just to like test it all. This is going to be for one side, and this receiver has like mixing, so between channel 1 and 2, so it can drive like a tank. Polarity on this one. I'm pretty sure it's like that. Yeah, signal first, right? Okay. So then the battery plugs in. And the ESC provides 5 volts to the receiver, so you don't need any other power supply for that. Like, just plug in the battery and you're good to go. I'm going to grab the remote and we will do some ghetto testing. So this is the hot RC. It's like a 6-channel joint. I've already got it programmed for mix mode. So channels 1 and 2 are mixed together, and when you press forward, all 4 motors will go forward, backwards, and then left and right will actually spin like a tank. So let's get our motors hooked up to our ESCs here. And these are just soldered together with heat shrink, so it's basically just, you know, one side is sharing power. Okay. So they both have little battery eliminator circuits, so you don't really need, you don't really want both 5-volt supplies coming back to the receiver. So you just kind of unhook that. You don't even have to cut it because you might want to put it back in for another project. So it's best if you just like cut it. I mean, best if you just like uncrimp it, and then yeah, just throw some heat shrink on it in case you don't want it touching anything. Okay. That's good. The other side hooked up here. Maybe we can just do that for now. And then each little ESC has a switch, so make sure they're on. I think that one's on because the receiver's on. Sure nothing gets caught up here. So yeah, we're all working, which is great. The program is doing this remote. I had it for a different project last time, but it is working. Hear it really fast there for a sec, so I just gotta I gotta trim it. Oh yeah, it's got some power. She's gonna be able to do some drifts. This battery definitely needs to be charged. I haven't charged it in literally like 4 months. That's why I grabbed this one in case that one just dies on us here. The wheels are from just like an RC cheap, like $2 toy. I got 2 of them. They're like $2 each, so I got backup wheels if anything happens here. They came with this cool light bar on top that actually like has like a lighting wire on it, so I got 2 of them, so could use them for this project. I might definitely steal the bumper from this. It's not a bad one. I'll pop that off right now actually. The last one I actually used this body, the red version, but this time I kind of want to make it a little bit more of a robot, so we'll probably leave that out for now. But yeah, nice little bumper we can use if we need to. Power to this side. what's going on here. I'm not using the battery splitter that I made. So this cable actually splits the battery so it can go to both ESCs. I don't even know how it was working before, but yeah, I guess I just kind of tricked myself there. Okay, so we're gonna go battery in. Make sure all these connections are solid here. I don't want no short out. Okay, yeah, definitely good. Okay, so then that is a little power sensor, so that's going to tell us how much current it's using. So it just happens to be hooked up to the splitter right now. So let's just unhook all of our ESCs here. So that's the motor on one side and the power on the other side. It's lighting up. And then our other side here. It's connected to. We're definitely going to clean this all up and zip tie it down. It's nice and neat. Actually, let's undo that because it's running through all of them. Okay. Inside. This is going to the other side. Our last ESC needs power here. That's better. I don't even know how they were all working before. It was like turning and everything. Anyway, we have to roll the tape back on that one. Wires tend to get caught on these wheels. They're kind of like rubbery. Just hold that. Oh yeah. Yeah, the motors were seeming really slow. I was like, what's going on? This puppy is gonna rip. I got blue wheels too. We could swap them out for blue. Let me know what you guys want. The red kind of looks cool though. Okay, so now let's just unhook the battery to be safe here. So we're going to start to wire this thing. We want all of this. got a lot of things that will be going into this version. There's going to be sensors that show like the pitch and roll angle, and there's going to be like power sensors and like distance sensors. It's going to have a camera. It's going to have lights. Unplug all this stuff just to kind of clean it up. Let's see if I can get a little test drive in. Works. They used to be zip tied down. I'm going to do that again. It's coming together here. Thanks guys for hanging around, still appreciate it. Just doing a little test stream while I'm building this weekend. If there's anything else you guys want to see, just let me know. This is just a little 5-volt bus bar that I'm gonna have in there because there's literally so many things, sensors and stuff that are gonna run off 5 volts. So for testing purposes and stuff, we're just gonna kind of have a little breadboard in there to make it easier. That together. Can do a zip tie. Just to keep that together because it's getting a little out of hand. Should we put a hole in it right now, in the bottom? Let's do it. Okay, so the hole just really needs to be the size of a JST connector. And put them through like one at a time. I think it's gonna have to be that one. First. Real close to the camera, guys. Up close and personal here. like to do one hole first that's smaller, and then work my way up to a bigger one because you don't want any cracks or anything. This plastic's actually really forgivable, these project boxes. Oops, okay. Let's check our sizing here. I think it would fit a female, but not a male. Let's go a little bigger here. I'm gonna raise it up a bit. See if you can see what's going on here. Okay. There we go. A nice clean hole. And that will fit all the connections we need. There's our remote giving us a warning there. Turn that off. Let's put away our bits. Just make sure they're not tangled. There we go. The other side. Zip tie all that down and clean it up. I've got to heat up that heat shrink there. Okay, so we don't actually want it to go over the side there. These boxes kind of have like places where you can drill holes easier. It's always a clean hole too, which is good. Okay. Now that is going to give us a lot more room to put sensors and stuff like that. ESP32 here, and we can see it fits very nicely into these boxes. And the case, the lid also gives you a little bit of clearance there, so hopefully there's going to be enough room for all this stuff. ballparking it here. Yeah, I think it'll be tight, but it'll be okay. Once I get all that in. Hey there, how's it going? It's always nice to clean up your workbench every 45 minutes or so that we can not feel too cluttered. Okay, I think this is going to be sweet. I'm excited for this one. Let me know what ESP32 you guys are using too. Like these are the Freenode ones, the ESPW Rovers, and they're good. Like they have SD card slot and 8 megabytes PS RAM. But I know this is in Canada, and this is kind of what we've been getting on Amazon. So let me know which ones you guys are using. Just want to get this cleaned up enough for like a quick little test drive. Don't really want to do that. Oh, look at that. We've had our first solder joint come here. So let's plug in our soldering gun. We'll fix that in a second. Piece of tape for now. So we're just prototyping here. We're not final building. That should be fine. Just don't want the wires getting caught up in the motors. Okay. Got a nice clean base now. These are each of our motor leads here, one for each side. So we're going to give each one a receiver, or a speed controller. This is our motor connection to our electronic speed controller. And then we're going to control those with this little RC receiver here. We've got channel 1 and channel 2. And this one with the red wire is actually providing power to our receiver here. It's taking the 7 volts from the battery, and just giving us a little 5-volt circuit to run our stuff, which is great because you can also like run ESP32s off of that. So I think for the other side here, since I'm not using this battery electronic circuit, I'm going to power the ESP32 with this BEC. So that's kind of the goal. Hey there, how's it going? Okay. I should probably just unhook this here for now, for the sake of not having to drag all these wires around. Put a bead of solder there for now, just to control the situation. So that's my heat shrink here. You guys definitely want to get yourself one of these for like $8 on Amazon. Just because it's got all sizes. Little Y cable I made, that's just going to provide power for each ESC, basically just splitting the battery. You can use a battery for each EHC and it will last longer, so I will try that because these guys are quite small, but they do last a long time surprisingly, which is great. Just that. So I didn't want to, but we're gonna have to throw some solder on there because ideally it's gonna go back into this current sensor. But this is just temporary. But considering it's a LiPo, you shouldn't mess around. The soldering gun's been heating up here. That when we put it back into the ESP32, but since it's an RC vehicle, that will be fine for now. Okay, maybe it didn't work because that other battery is fully dead. But let's see what happens. Okay, we got power on the receiver, which is a good sign. Plug the soldering iron. Safety first here. It's like so much grip on the tires that that's really good. Yes, this is definitely an electric car. It's using electricity. It's using these type of batteries right here that are found in more like hobby RC cars. And it's not even attached yet, but it's already fun to drive. Sweet. So now we just gotta figure out how to get all the rest of the stuff in. It's probably ESP32 side's probably gonna be next weekend. For now, I'm happy that we've resurrected the rock crawler here. We're gonna clean all of this with Velcro and zip ties. Now we're just gonna shove it in. Always be careful for your antenna. And that will just clean it up. a nice little chassis, $3 chassis, and these are strong too, so they're not gonna crack on you. Different perspective on that. Doesn't look as awesome on camera. Right. Forgot we've got that broken wire there. So this whole time, our test hasn't even been as good as it can be. Let's get a little solder on there. I think that's why it didn't stick the first time anyway. Yeah, we're gonna have to let this heat up a little bit more. Unplugged it for a sec. Soldering is definitely something you guys want to learn to make this kind of stuff. Tell when your gun's hot enough because the solder will smoke up and melt. Right now it's not doing it. There we go, it's starting. Time. You don't want to solder when your gun's not hot enough. We end up getting a shitty solder joint. Just add a little bit to that. So that when we stick it down here, it will stay this time. Check the view here, make sure you guys can see okay. Okay. Hard to solder because it keeps moving. Okay for now. Alright. Yeah, I got this program to reverse is a little bit slower and forward's got a little more power. You can program that with all these trims and stuff. The cool thing about this remote is it's got other channels. So this is channel 1 and 2 that we're used to drive if it's steer the tank. ones can be used for other servos and lights and that kind of stuff. But in this case, we're going to be using the ESP32, so we don't really need all these other channels. But they are nice to have, that's for sure. You can like drive full other like winches, like a RC winch, and all that kind of stuff with this. It's fun to drive already, which is a good sign. Is my hot glue gun still closing? Maybe we just take some liberty here and just tack that down for now. Probably should do both sides, but and now just give the wheels the ability to flex a bit. It just kind of gives it that rock crawler effect without having a big complicated system. I was gonna buy a rock crawler and then I just found out about N20 motors and I'm like, we should definitely try making one first. Definitely want to try making a version with mecanum wheels too. But in that case, you would need a speed controller for each motor. And I do have 2 more. They're just not exactly the same as these ones. Pivot, but we can definitely do some kind of bumper. I think that would be cool. These N20 motors are awesome. They're like so powerful and you can get them all different sizes. Oh yeah, so much faster than the other rock crawler. So it can actually like crawl, but it can crawl, but it can actually drive around now. But if you need to, you can still crawl real slow. And if you don't want it so fast, you can go down to like 100 or 200 RPM motors. They're lot more torque on that compared to yeah, for sure. We definitely need to clean the soldering tip. Haven't soldered in like a month or so, so we've got a few soldering irons here. Gotta get my soldering game back on track. But it is working, so. But yeah, we'll definitely redo the joints on all the motors. Yeah, luckily we're not soldering anything important today, so I don't really want to worry that much. Not much desk space to drive here. Oh, it's fast. It's fast. Alright. Well, now that we know it works, unplug the soldering iron now. Don't need it for now. There's the insides. If anybody's tuned in wants to see that. So these are going to be the actual controller for it. They're kind of cool. It's like a little touch screen. So yeah, I don't know what's on here right now. But yeah, basically it's going to show all the current information and the data from the MPU 6050. Basically like a gyroscope, so we're going to be able to see when it's tilted and on different angles. And then we're going to know our power consumption very accurately with this in a 219. So we already have the code all made. I just got to upload it to this. And basically it controls two motors with a joystick over here, and here just room for two more servos, like plus and minus buttons. And then the main page is just all the data from the sensors. So this is going to work over ESP now. So it's basically like a wireless protocol like Wi-Fi, but it's a lot easier to use and better range. It just you can't send too much data from it, but for these kind of stuff it's plenty of data. So yeah, that's going to be the controller. And then this just needs USB power. This just needs USB power, and you can take it anywhere. You can take this to the park, drive it around, and you can still drive it with this if you want. So you can have this in one hand, and then you have all your telemetry data here. So you got your power usage and all that right in your pocket. And if you don't want it, you can put it away. And if you want, you can also control the car right from the screen, which is cool. So you don't have to use the controller. I just like driving this around. Like as a little desktop driver, it's definitely better to have these little one-handed controllers. Just I think they're a lot cooler, less nerdier than the big like Futawas with like 40 channels or whatever. And the range is pretty good in these things. Like I've had them out on RC boats and stuff, and it's been good. Yeah, it's turning a lot better now that we fixed that other motor. Well, I'm gonna wrap this stream up pretty soon, guys, because that's basically it for today. We made an RC remote control rock crawler. So we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in today. We're going to try to do one every weekend. We're going to do like more Arduino stuff also. Got a bunch of other robots that we're going to get into.